Good morning, guys. So I said we will be finishing HTML, then we can dive into CSS. So first of all, let's talk about the this div tag. Let's talk about this div tag here. So you see this tab is used to group elements. It's used to group tag inside it. Let's say we have so if you want to call it, you are going to put it like this. You are going to call it like this div here like this. So this div is going to allow you to group all your elements, all your this thing inside it. All the tags. Let's say inside this div now, I can have inside the div, I can have h1. Then inside the h1, I'll say, let's say div edge. Then I can still have another paragraph. Let's say this is the div paragraph here. Blah, 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 blah. You can still have another tag just inside the div. So if I should check my browser now, you see this is everything here. Everything like this from here to here like this is inside this div. So let me just do some style here so it can show. I'll just put it have a background to just be, let me put it as red. So you see it now, it has grouped everything here, unlike this one that everything is just one. So all this div now, it is already inside one place. It already group all these elements in a place. I can even add image. I can add image inside this div. So where's the image we used the other time? Let me just grab the image here. Let me just grab it here and we just put it inside this place again. Now if you check it, you see I have my image inside that div again. Another thing about this div is that I can have a div inside a div. This, let's say this is the first div, then I can still call this one div. I can still have another div here like this, a second div. Then inside the second div I can have like this h3 that, let's say, is sub head. Now you see it now. So now you have a div here, I still have another div here. So that's just the last tag I'm going to talk about. So now let's talk about attributes. Talk about attributes. You see, this attribute is going to allow you to give an element or a tag. It's going to allow you to specify them. Like you see, we have this div here, we also have this div here, we have this first div, we have this first div, we have the second div. But do you notice something, that I put the in this my styling, I put div here as background to be red, but when I even check it here, all my div is color what is everything is color red. There is no difference there. Now this attribute is now going to allow you to like give a particular tag. Is going to allow you to give its own attribute. So there are different ways to give an element or a tag a this thing. There are two different ways for you to put it, to give it an attribute. The first one is the class element, the class tag. So this class is going to give you like just a unique name for this tag, for all these elements. So if I first put this class name, so this class is mostly used if you have this class is mostly if you are using to style for css, so you can just call this one the container, and this one you can just call it this one to be the box. So now instead of me to put this, I'm using class. So instead of me to put div here, I can just put dots because of this class that is there. Then you now put this dot container. Don't put space. If you put dot container here now, you see dot container is still color red because this sub head that is here, the dot box, the box class, that one do not have any color. Let now say I put my div back to color. I put the background I put the background to be yellow. So any other div I have, all the background is going to be yellow. You see it now, but it's inside this red container. So I'm having a box inside this container. So you see the name. So you see I'm having a div inside a div. Now this one is the child, this one is the parent. You see this one is the child, this one is the parent. So I'll let us stop here so that we can enter CSS. Properly. So this just the last tag I'm just going to talk about this HTML is just a div tag. So you see we can have a div inside a div. So don't forget. So the first div, and also don't forget, you see the first div that I have here is called the parent div. You see this one is called the child div. This first one is called the parent div, and this second one that I have here is called the child div. So you get. So if I now have another div here, let's say I now have another div tag here. Now you see I'm having parent, child, child. See how I'm now going to have this parent. Are we going to call this one grandpa, this one the parent, and this one the child? No, this is the parent. The first div that is containing everything is called the parent. The second one is now going to be the first child, and the second one is now going to be the second child. If I now have another div there, that was now going to be the third child, and continue like that. And you can even put it like this, like let's say you have a div like this. Let's say you have a div here like this one can be the third child of another div here like this. So you're now going to have first child, second child, third child, fourth child. It's continued like that. So that's just about the div tag. So now the other tag I'm talking about, the other attribute I'm talking about is called the ID. You see this ID, use it mostly if you want to add, if you want to use it for JavaScript, if you want to connect your HTML to your JavaScript, but use your class if you want to connect your CSS with your HTML. But ID if you want to connect your HTML to your JavaScript so that your code can be cleaner. But you can also use it for to add it with your this thing with same CSS. But if you want to add it with your CSS, just put like this. Now come to your style, we call it child. Now if you want to, for class we are going to put dot the name, dot the class name. But for ID you are going to use this hash, the ID name. So we call it child. Now we can just put it to have background to be green. Now because it has background to be green, let's just put something there to be say blah blah blah. Now you see it now. You see it here. You see that other tag did not show. This div here does not show, and this div here, because it does not have anything inside it. Let's say I put something inside, because it doesn't have anything, so it do not have any height, it do not have any width. So it's because it's not stretching at all. So let's say I put a paragraph here. You are going to see everything is going to change back to color yellow, because we have put the div of everything to be color yellow. Don't worry, don't let this one confuse you. You see it now. So now once you enter CSS, I'm going to explain it better. So don't let this one confuse you. So just know the div tag. So the div tag is used to group elements in a certain place. Like just group all your elements in one place like this. So you get, because if you see how our code is before, you see this one is here, this one is here, this one is here, this one is here. but in a normal website, they'll group this one like this. We are going to group all these tag. They are going to group them together. So they are all using div. They're all using divs to do that now. And don't forget your cementing tags. Even if I have a header, I can still put in my header like this. I can still put a div here like this. I can put one div here like this to have the logo, and I can also put a div here like this. I will just put a div here like this to have a menu. That's how they used to do this thing. So just your cementing tag is just to let you know, okay, this place is for the what? Is for the this place is for the header, this main. So you in this main, you're also going to group another element there. Let's say the body. You are just like that. That's just how the div works. So that's just how it works. So see, they use this place now. We have the nav bar, we have the menu. So in our this thing, if you want to do a normal nav bar, so they'll just put this on to have a flex. Just if once you enter CSS, you are going to understand it very well. So